Hey there, everyone. Welcome to this live stream where we'll be talking about selling sponsorships for virtual events. My name is Georgie-Ann, and I am the CEO and founder of GSP Solutions. Before we get started, I wanted to share a quick video with you guys.
In the last 2 years, our world has changed more than ever before. And businesses have had to make very critical decisions in order to stay alive and thrive. And what we know to be true is that inclusive, innovative, and experience-driven businesses are the only ones that will continue to survive. Is your business ready to scale and continue to thrive using virtual events? I'm Georgie-Ann, the CEO and founder of GSP Solutions. At GSP Solutions, we focus on digital adoption, helping businesses just like yours thrive and survive in this new ecosystem. One of our specialty offerings is virtual event strategy and production. Every business will need a virtual event production strategy in order to be successful and thrive in the coming years. Get ahead of that curve, stay ahead of that curve, and talk to us today. We're here to make sure your virtual events are amazing. Thank you so much.
Wow, that young lady did a great job in that presentation. So, as the name of this workshop is selling sponsorship opportunities, what we're going to be talking about for the next maybe 25 minutes or so is the opportunity that lives within virtual event sponsorships. And I know a lot of folks may be skeptical, one, about doing virtual events in the first place, but secondly, selling sponsorships. What this looked like in the past when we sold sponsorship for events is that people would give, like water bottles, notebooks, swag, t-shirts. You'd see all these physical items that sponsors would pay for and then cover during the event. As we've transitioned online and some companies not even wanting to send mail to you, right? It has evolved of how we have to handle sponsorships when it comes to online events and just events in general. What does that sell look like? What are you offering your sponsors in return for sponsoring your event, right? Before you could offer, giving out their items at your event, you could offer getting them a list of the people that were at the event, getting them in front of those people to market their products or services. But the digital world presents a grand and even greater opportunity, right? From things such as, NFT tokens to prove their attendance, to, cookies, breadcrumbs, and all these digital things tracking it. So in this workshop, I'm going to be talking to you all about those items. So let's dive right in. To get started, my name is Georgie, and I'm the CEO and founder of GSP Solutions. And at GSP Solutions, we specialize in digital adoption, and we help businesses just like yours build inclusive, innovative, and experience-driven solutions with the goal of increasing customer engagement and sales. At the end of the day, our mission is to help businesses scale and connect with their customers through technology. I've been a founder for multiple times. I've been working in the event and virtual event production industry for years now, and I have a great team that supports and helps us enable and help clients scale using technology. Some of the ways that we've been innovating in the virtual event world is through project management, data collection and analysis, and that's what we're going to highlight today in this workshop about sponsorships and how you can sell sponsorships to then hold more virtual events, content editing, content creation, event platform evaluation, branding and design, registration, and much, much more. So before the pandemic, again, we've been doing a bunch of events in person, from networking events to large-scale conferences, hackathons, and multi-level experiences that just bring people in, have them come together to learn, execute on something, and just build a better sense of community and patronage to whatever client or sponsor that was at that event. And then as we transitioned to virtual, we adapted. We work with dozens of organizations, specifically small and medium-sized businesses that want to enable their audience, their employees, their clients, and their potential patrons to participate in networking, learning, and building together. And this is some of the past work that we've done in organizations that we've worked with, but you don't want to hear about that. You want to know how you can sell sponsorships for your virtual events that are coming up. So let's dive into that. To go over a short agenda, what we're going to be covering today is the benefits of online events, what we can track versus some of the stuff that we can't, as well as the digital real estate based on event format. So based on the type of event that you're doing, what pieces and where can you add in that sponsor element to give it that aesthetic, that feeling that it is sponsored by an organization. And then lastly, we're going to talk about investing your sponsor dollars in order to boost engagement, right? A sponsor doesn't want to just sponsor an event and then there's 2 people, there's 5 people, right? They want to sponsor your event and have dozens and hundreds of people come in, but not only having that quantity of attendees at your event, but they want to have the quality of attendees. So people that will have a higher chance at converting. And if people are feeling engaged and then taking action, right? Taking action on the activities that you want them to partake in during this event, that will then increase your conversion rates. So without further ado, let's dive in. So some of the benefits of online events include a lower setup costs. So when I say a lower setup cost compared to an in-person event, right? Let's think of a trade show, for example, right? This has like a lot of vendors, a lot of sponsors, a lot of people coming through. You have to build fixtures and you have to get licenses, you have to get permits, you have to get, and now that the pandemic is, we're still in the pandemic, you have to ensure that COVID policies are being practiced and followed, and testing and vaccine checking. There's so security. There's so many layers, right? That happen before you even get to let me set up the event, right? So you have lower setup costs. Then directly tied to that lower setup cost is now a higher return on investment, a higher ROI. Because if your setup cost was previously, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000, $10,000, whatever it may be, and then now your setup cost is a fraction of that, maybe a third, a quarter of that, your return may still be the same or even higher than you previously had when you were doing that in-person event. Then you're able to generate content. So like what I'm doing right now, this is an event, it's a virtual event, and then I'll have the recording from this video to then replay. I could break it up into snippets for social media. I could then package it and sell it to someone or something. So there's more content being generated when you're doing a virtual event because the content collection is embedded inside of that event. It's not a secondary thought as to in the past what we would do in-person events and then like add a camera in the back of the room somewhere. With virtual events, it's embedded into the production. Then you have more reach for participants, right? If we had an event that was based locally, only people that were local or willing to come into that city, state, or town would be able to participate and fully experience this event. With virtual events, you could engage people from all over the globe at the same exact time. You could even run the same event if it's a shorter event, multiple times a day to target different time zones and get that, again, that high ROI that we're looking for. You also are able to build a higher sense of community. More people are connecting, engaging, interacting with each other. More flexibility added to that. I'm behind my computer screen at my home office. I could have been in a coffee shop. I could have been on a train, a plane. So different ways of engaging in the event. And that ties directly into accessible from anywhere, right? Whatever you have a digital setup, some people may be watching this on their phone, an iPad, on their second screen at work right now. So you have more flexibility and more accessibility added to your event. And then on top of that, different, the convenience of it and different events, based on your target audience, it's more seamless to include things like translation, ASL, audio transcriptions. It's easier to make your event even more accessible to the participants that will be attending the event. So those are just some of the benefits of online events. And how you then sell this to your sponsors is include this in whatever sponsorship deck you're creating, right? Making sure that they know that, if we have to change the date, we're more flexible. If we want to, they don't only want to target people in the Midwest, they want to target people on the East Coast, West Coast, say, hey, this event will reach these types of people in multiple cities, states. Put this as your selling advantage, put this as your competitive advantage in those decks that you're presenting to your sponsors, because we haven't seen something like this before. If a company wants to sponsor an event in multiple states, they had to sponsor an event in multiple states. They had to sponsor it in New York and then send material there. Sponsor it in New Orleans, send material there. Sponsor it in Los Angeles, send material there. Send a person there. Flights, or if especially if the company is going to have representatives, that's flights, hotels, purchasing of the items, making sure it's set up, it's broken down. There's a lot that goes into it. And then now what you're presenting is saying, hey, that one representative could attend or 5-city tour, 2 hours per city in the course of 1 week, and they don't have to get on a plane at any point in that. You've now saved that organization thousands of dollars, and then they could then reinvest that money into sponsoring your event in different ways. So those are just some of the initial benefits. Now let's talk about the yummy stuff, right? What can we track? So if you're seeing this, we can track breadcrumbs, we can track cookies. We have all the hamburger menus in the world. So I just love all these tasty terms that we use to describe digital tracking items, right? And so almost everything that you do online can be tracked in some way, shape, or form. Folks that maybe like to use VPNs or incognito window or Brave browser, different browsers that include less tracking, but ultimately the average person, you go on one website for socks, and then you're seeing socks on Instagram, you're seeing socks on Facebook, you're seeing socks on LinkedIn, Twitter. The socks are everywhere, and before you know it, the socks are in your cart, in your mailbox, and on your foot. So let's use that as not only to in a manipulative way, but let's use that data, let's use that tracking, the ability to track, to help people make better decisions, right? If businesses are collecting better data, then the products and services that we all love and want to continue to use will stay around. We've all seen a product or service go out of business because of, the company either not being able to see that there's a demand for it, or not being clear of what the data around that product or service is. And then they, what is it called? Shelve it, they discontinue it. That's the word. And so in order to make sure that things don't get discontinued, things have the longevity that they need, data is important, right? We always see market case studies. And just a sidebar, we at GSP Solutions, we're currently conducting a case study, a market study, all about virtual events. So if you or your organization pre-COVID did in-person events, and you had at least 2 events annually, you've been around for at least 3 years, and you have at least 4 employees or contractors, we're looking for you. We're looking for the first 20 people to give away a free $50 gift card for participating in this market study that we're doing. So that's just a side note, but let's get back to this presentation. And if you're interested in that, just head on over to gsdsolutionsinc.com/survey. Or just message me if you're watching this on social media, shoot me a message, and then we will send you over the link. Again, it's only for the first 20 people that participate. So 20 minutes of your time, $50 gift card. I think it's worth it. But I digress. Back to the show, y'all. What can we track? So we can track almost everything. And we want to use this. We want to not only collect this data, but then use this data to make more strategic decisions. And so using things like affiliate links, right? Referral links. When we place these on our event, it allows the sponsor to better see, okay, Georgie went to networking, selling sponsorships for online events on Tuesday, and that's the first time she clicked on our link. And then after she clicked on the link the first time, she went back 4 more times, and then she finally checked out and bought a pair of socks on Friday. And that could work in a dual way, right? So that tracks and lets the sponsor know how well being a sponsor for your event converted into whatever metric they needed it to convert in, whether it's a sale, a sign up, an interaction, right? That conversion metric. And then various referral or affiliate programs also offer a payout, a financial benefit to the organization. And I'll try to break that down a little bit. So let's say your sponsor, you tell your sponsor it's cost X amount, we'll include this link. And then for every sign up that, converts, there could be, a 20% or a $10, or, we see these on a lot of different platforms, send this to a friend, get 10 extra bucks, right? So that can also be embedded into the sponsor deal. So the longevity of it. So maybe the sponsor amount for the one event is could be a more reasonable rate for both the sponsor and your organization. And then you have additional finances coming in and sponsorship benefits, 6 months down the line, 3 months down the line, 2 months down the line, because that conversion, that link that was used at the initial event where people discovered this organization is still converting into sales, transactions, signups, and so then the sponsor is going to be happy because it's still converting. Your organization is going to be happy because you guys are getting a financial benefit, as well as the sponsor will now trust you to now sponsor your future events. So that's how that trail goes. And if you want to learn more about affiliate programs and just how they work in referral programs, I have a video on my YouTube channel all about that. So again, just message me on any platform and I'll send you over the link to that. So tracking is very essential. And that's how you're going to be able to sell your sponsors that say, hey, the benefit of sponsoring our event doesn't start and end at our event. By using these programs, these links, these digital benefits of tracking, it could continue for longer. So that way we can continue to engage. We could continue to benefit each other through this sponsorship, right? And so now I'm going to dive into the 3 event formats. And if folks are watching live, definitely shoot some comments. If you have any questions, I'm happy and here to answer any questions. And we'll have a Q&A towards the end of this as well. So now we're going to talk about the 3 event formats and how you can use the formats to benefit your sponsors, right? How do you sell a sponsor on a format of an event? And so this may not be your first time watching a video from GSP Solutions. We always talk about our 3 formats. That's lectures, summits, and experiences. And let's dive in. So lectures are described as content-heavy sessions that are led by instructors. Think of talks, panels, classes, right? So it's usually like a screen. Maybe there's a host that introduces the speakers, and then they go on and they banter and they talk and go over questions for maybe like 45 minutes or so before then opening up for Q&A. These tend to be shorter events that range anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes on average, sometimes a little bit longer if there's like networking afterwards or something like that. But a lecture, a person is coming to learn, get information, and then be able to take action on the information that they learn during that event. And so how you could reframe a lecture format to your sponsors, or if you are a sponsor trying to work with an organization, how you can frame that is, background design. Everyone loves them a backdrop, right? No matter what platform that we're using, we love a nice little backdrop behind us. You could brand that backdrop, right? That's the first element. Then the people that are speaking on that lecture could be keynotes and speakers that are provided by the sponsor. So the sponsor comes in, they have the experts at their organization speak on this panel to your audience on the topic, since it's beneficial for their audience to learn that topic, or that's their conversion metric that they're looking for, right? The next thing, brand and marketing and design. So all over social media, plaster their logo, making it be clear, selling sponsorship for online events powered by, presented by, sponsored by GSP Solutions, right? Put their name inside of it, so as soon as people think of that event, that business is also, that sponsor is getting that brand recognition, right? So this is another way to continue to sell sponsorships for your online events. Then registrations and sign up, giving them the list again with the power of like data collection, cookies, LinkedIn Navigator, all these ways to track, okay, this person started here, and then this is the flow, the journey that they took to end up with our product or service. And so, being able to share that with them. And then, results produced by attendees. And what I mean by that is, like I said, you have to have your sponsors lead the workshop, take charge of the lecture that's happening. And maybe they're a company that is a software solution, right? And the whole goal of the event is to have people test out their software solution. Maybe it's a note-taking solution. Maybe it is a productivity solution. And so in this event, in this lecture, somebody is explaining how to use the tool, giving samples, and then the participants have to submit for maybe a potentially like a prize, submit what they then use the software for, right? So then that creates a continuous loop of not only are they signing up, they're using it, they learn how to use it, and everyone benefits. The attendees feel amazing and good that they were able to go to your event and learn about this offering from the sponsor. Maybe this is something that they never even knew about before, and they just first time discovering this tool or product or service. And then the sponsor is happy because they're getting that sign up, they're getting that usage, they're getting that engagement that they're looking for with their products and services. So that's some of the initial ways. So let's keep going. The next format is summits. So when we think of summits, these are, learning sessions where networking, collaboration are essential. Think of galas, meetups, trade show conferences. So these are multi-part, moving events that have a lot going on, right? So they can be broken up by days, sometimes even weeks, sometimes, different hours throughout a day. But this is a summit. A lot is going on. It's jam-packed, right? So all the benefits that you can highlight in a lecture, you could do those for a summit as well. But here are some new ones that you could add, right? Background design. A lot of platforms that are best suited for summits allow you to customize the aesthetic, the digital arena that the event is happening. So whether it's like example like Hopin or Remo, you could do like custom maps, you could design the colors, you could have a lot of immersive design so the person really feels like they're in it. They're surrounded by your brand colors, they're surrounded by your brand aesthetic, and they feel like they're in it. Then digital engagement booths. So similar to like an in-person event where you could have a trade show booth, like in this little graphic that we have, you could do the same exact thing with a virtual event. And as I was mentioning, with like the lack of needing to travel, now you can say, okay, if the sponsor that is sponsoring your event says, or best engagement person is based in Canada, and borders are closed, we can't get them out, but this person really we want them there. Now they can have that person there. They just video into the virtual event platform that you're using for the event. They do their talk, they do their spiel, they engage, they make it feel good, and then they move on. So, you could have this like digital engagement booth that is, well designed, has all the things in it, the documents, links, wording, and now you have the best person on your team able to present at that event versus whatever it would have cost, how much time it would have taken, or whatever additional setup would be required in order to make this person a part of that event. So you could tell them that like, hey, Jim from Canada, that's the best. We can get him here. All he needs is a link, right? Now, another thing you could do is experiences from the sponsor. So adding in experiences, whether it's like some like gamification things, whether it's interactive things, and you could even do mailer giveaways. The first person to activate or win this, scavenger hunt will then get mailed a gift package, a gift card. So different things like that to continue to engage folks when you're doing a virtual summit. So even though it's fully online and everyone is dialing in from where they are, you could still send them out some physical things and just some experiential things that they could do from their home, from wherever they're participating in the event. Now, one of my favorite formats, experiences. So experiences, again, are interactive events where people come together to network, learn, do activities. Think, sip and paint, cooking classes, speed networking, virtual marketplace. So whereas a summit has, some content to it as well, an experience is really just that. You come and you have a good time, like having a good time, meeting people. Excitement is the forefront of it. So think of a summit as a combination of a lecture and an experience. And then, a lecture is content heavy and experience is people heavy, interaction heavy. And then the summit is the two of those, right? So when we think of how we could amplify experiences, if you're seeing this floor plan on the right, we could put that design depending on the platform that we're using. So all the features that we could highlight in lecture and summit, we could highlight those again in experiences, but we could take it a level up, right? So sending out branded packages to the people. Some of the experiences that we've seen is like mixology happy hour, and you could have it be, let's say your sponsor is, I don't want to say any let's say the sponsor again is GSP Solutions, right? We're gonna make the GSP Solution cocktail, right? And it could be a combination of colors from our brand, a combination of flavors or values or sustainability source. You could really customize the feel, right? The feel of that event to match the experience and the values and the appearance that the sponsor wants to embody in their brand, right? And then so that way people get that hint of it and like, whoa, this business, your sponsor focuses on this. Let me go check them out some more. Then again, sponsor-led activities. So let's say you are a mixology company. Let's say you are a more experiential company, and you guys are leading that experience. And then last but not least, product placements, shipping things or having people have the opportunity to win things in those experiences. So there's a lot of ways, right? And this is just the tipping stone of it, where you can have people benefit and you could just spin it, not spin, you could pitch it to show what the benefits are to your sponsor. And if you're an organization looking for sponsorships, just showing this is how we might have did it in person, but guess what? We could have a lot of those things translate to digital, but now we have better data around it. Now we don't have to overuse resources. We can be more strategic in the uses of our resources, whether it's physical products, financial investments, time, right? People showing up and flying and all that stuff. We could better utilize the resources that we have on hand. And that's the key that you need to be focusing on when you're selling sponsorships, or if you're a sponsor, trying to work with organizations as their sponsor, right? Focus on the value that still lives within the virtual event and how you have that increased return on investment by using less of your resources, but having a higher return. Awesome. So now we're going to talk about some ways that you can boost engagement, right? So now you have your how you can use your sponsored dollars to boost engagement. That's the specific thing that we're going to highlight in this section. So there's 4 key ways that we like to tell folks to use to boost engagement, and that's gamification, networking, food, and entertainment. I'm going to dive into each one of those in just a second. And when you're selling to your sponsors, you can then say, hey, how you could break down your categories. We have like a gold sponsor, platinum, silver, bronze, right? You could then say you're sponsoring this experience and you're going to get back this in return, this type of data, this type of analytics, et cetera, et cetera. So here are some ways that you could invest those sponsored dollars to boost attendance, boost engagement, which then increases conversions for both you and your sponsors. So when we think of gamifications, this is like, adding activities to your event. So that's like polls, giveaways, ways to win points, or just actual games, right? Like I've been to a virtual event. We did like a scavenger hunt. We've, played chess. We've played virtual poker. Like there's different ways, not hide and seek. What is it called? Yeah, scavenger hunt. So there's different ways to gamify that event so that people feel fun, right? And the best way to keep somebody's attention is just to inject boost of entertainment, right? Why do we scroll on our phones all day? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff, because it's boost of engagement, boost of interaction, just changing up I'm just sitting behind a computer, being a zombie, taking in this information, but it's like, oh wow, I want to win a point. Oh wow, that's a question. Oh wow, like so that keeps people continuously engaged and increase their chances of actually attending. Like, if I say, just join me on this event, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be great. Versus if I say, join me on this event, there's going to be an opportunity to win, up to $100 in prizes. There's going to be an opportunity to be get a certificate of being like best of the best of this event. And if you're in multiple, different states right now, we just saw the Super Bowl happen, and what is it called? These different apps that since betting became legal, right? Gamification. Everyone's on social media. Everyone's making these bets. Everyone's gamifying all these different pieces of their life. So continue to do that. Use that to your advantage when you're selling sponsorships and doing virtual events. Gamify it. Now, networking. So we've all experienced the COVID pandemic for almost 3 years now, and that has increased disconnection, right? We're super connected on the interwebs, right? Everybody's following everyone, liking, commenting, but we're not truly talking to each other. We're not connecting, right? Even right now, I'm talking to a screen, I'm talking to a PowerPoint, and I got to produce all this energy, but I'm an energy provider, so it's okay. Maybe a little crazy talking to myself, but it's okay. I'm talking to y'all out there. So put some comments so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. But let's get back on track. So networking now, you want to have people connect, right? Having a set time for attendees to meet and engage. So you say, here's a bunch of content, you took it in, now let's process it, let's talk it through, let's question it, let's make it make sense. So allowing people that opportunity to have that face-to-face conversation, whether it's on audio, video, through chat. I recommend when you're doing a networking session to have it either be audio or video or both. Chat works fine as well, but seeing folks, you get more emotions. You can read body language a little bit. I'm talking with my hands. You feel that, you can see me smiling and you can hear my voice perk up versus I'm just saying, hey, that was totally cool. You don't, unless I put an emoji, which I love me an emoji and some gifts, right? Unless I put those in and you're not really knowing my emotion behind, and that could bring the energy that's necessary to, again, increase that conversion. When people feel good, they continue to want to take actions that make them feel good. Like, oh, wow, I had a great time. I chat to, Pedro and Liberty. I had so fun. Let me go check out this product or service that's being sponsored by the event, right? It all connects back to each other. Now let's talk about food. If y'all are like me, I love an event that's going to serve me some food. Yes, even just yesterday, I attended an event and the food was delivered. I had my nice lunch, free to me. But various events you could charge and include like purchasing food in the package. So one of the biggest things when we did in-person events is you want the event to have great catering, but here are the challenges with catering, right? Dietary restrictions. Maybe somebody's allergic to something. We all saw the mishaps and continue to experience the mishaps that happen with peanut butter. You can't have peanut butter, no tuna, vegan diets, vegetarian diets, no meat, no pork, no fish, no shrimp, allergic, right? There are so many things that can happen, but guess what? If you are doing a virtual event, you don't have to worry about catering to but a bunch of people through one specific metric. You could cater to a bunch of people and have them be able to pick what they want to eat, where it's coming, maybe not where it's coming from. They could pick what they want to eat. And some platforms actually do allow you to pick where it's coming from, and you just you set your budget. There are different tools and partners that we work with at GSP Solutions to make this happen, but use delivery solutions to have meals mailed to your participants. I've been to virtual brunches, virtual pizza parties, virtual sip and paints, like all these events that, the food came right to me. And I had it, either in my living room, my dining table, or right here at my desk while I'm working, and just able to have that meal. And so adding food into your event, and it doesn't cost as much as you think. And what happens at in-person events is you didn't know that 80% of your audience, for some reason you didn't include it on your registration, you didn't ask the question, what is your dietary restrictions? So here you are having this amazing event, 80% of your audience is vegan. You ordered, pepperoni pizzas, 30 pepperoni pizzas. And the 20% decides to eat 5 of the pepperoni pizzas because they wanted fruit. And now you have 25 pizzas sitting there. What are you going to do with them? And I have been guilty of this exact thing, right? Where we order, you're ordering food, even if you do know the dietary restrictions, a lot of food waste and overall waste is then produced. And so with this option, you're curating that. So everyone gets a meal that they're comfortable with. It's delivered right to their home. They have it there. They can eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, however they want to eat it. They could even give it to somebody else in their house. But it's a higher chance that your investment, your financial investment to providing food will, actually serve the people that you're trying to serve, because they're actually going to eat it. So, that's another way to do it, as well as just the idea of breaking bread, right? People for centuries, right? Centuries we've been, human society has been known to break bread, right? We can really engage over a meal. And if you're eating behind your screen and I'm eating behind my screen, you know, I feel a little bit more connected to you. You love food. I love food. We both eating food. It's a good time. It's a good time. I feel good. Let me now go to that website and convert, right? So once you're getting that feel good, gamification, networking, eating something, you're feeling great. And even if you're not sure what the product is, you know, let me go check this out. They put all this work in it to make me feel good. Let me go click on that website, and then the breadcrumbs and the cookies start following me around the internet. And again, heading to that conversion. So this is another thing you could sell your sponsors on. And then the last one that you could sell to a way to increase. Let me slow down. Clearly, I'm talking too fast. Another way that you can increase and invest your sponsored dollars is by adding in some entertainment. Who does not love a good host, a nice comedian, somebody singing? I've been to a couple of events that had a magician, right? I like to be entertained. I love watching some TV. I love reading a good book, hearing a good story. And so adding in that entertainment, making that an additional investment, again, gets the, that dopamine going, gets you feeling good. You're like, oh yeah, somebody's singing. I've been to events that had a DJ, and then everybody's like, oh, this is my jam. I'm turning up. I'm having a great time. Because once people feel good, they want to stay in that feel good motion, and they make feel good decisions, and feel good decisions lead to conversions. And it's not on inauthentic conversions, because you want to make sure that your audience that you're targeting feels good, feels confident, is able to trust what you're doing, and then become a conversion, become a client, become an employee, become a patron of whatever product or service you're offering. So you could sell this to your sponsors. This is how you're going to talk to the sponsors. Like, hey, based on the type of organization it is, we think it's best to include, this type of talent to talk to the audience about your product or service in this way, right? There's roast, there's make a song. I've been to an event where they decided to make a song out of the theme of the event. That was really cool. So there's different ways to engage people, make them feel entertained, and that sense of community that I talked about earlier in the benefits of online events. If you're building something together, laughing together, breaking bread together, playing games together, you build that sense of community. And when you build that sense of community, if I end up using whatever product or service is sponsoring the event, helping me go through this amazing experience, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell all my friends. Hey, I went to this event that was sponsored by GSP Solutions, and they made me feel so good. I had a great time. I had a good meal. I met some cool people. You gotta come to the next GSP Solutions events. You just have to pull up, get the link, sign up for this next virtual event from GSP Solutions. Georgie is great. She has so much energy. She makes us feel good. She was talking to us. She didn't look crazy at all. Right? So these people will feel the emotion behind what you're putting out. And once someone ties an emotion to an experience, an emotion to something that they participated in, then they become evangelists. And so that conversion keeps on converting. And you have to include this inside of your sponsor decks, and include this in the verbiage that you're using with your sponsors, for your virtual events. And I know a lot of people might have felt that this no longer existed because we had to convert into virtual, which oftentimes is associated with like a colder feeling, but it doesn't have to be, right? If we think it's colder, if we think it's less connected, then it's going to be. But if you say, no, I'm going to be really intentional about how I plan, produce, and execute my virtual events, and how I speak to my sponsors, what I offer them, and what I want to bring to my audience, you're going to get these great results. That's just how it goes. And not to toot our own horn, but GSP Solutions knows exactly how to make that happen for and with you. So hit us up. But entertainment is the last one. So bring in hosts, comedian, magicians, other talent to engage your audience. And we have a bunch of partners that are amazing. Laugh your butt off, be super surprised and shocked and gasping entertainers as well. So if that's something that you're looking for, reach out to us. So just to recap, right? We talked about the benefits of online events that included, higher ROI, lower setup costs, accessible from anywhere. You can add on layers of accessibility, such as more audio and video and written material. You generate a bunch of content. Then we talk about how you could track it. So again, all the tasty stuff on the internet, cookies, breadcrumbs, affiliate links, tracking links, referral links. You could track where things are going, the flow of the conversion, right? talk to your sponsors about that and how you guys could work together to build out those links, build out those connections and flows of user transactions. And a lot of these platforms, they will give you the data, right? It'll show Georgie clicked on this banner link at 1:52 p.m. on Friday, right? Again, clicked on it on Tuesday the following week. So use this to your benefit, to help your audience as well as show your sponsors the conversion. Then we talked about the digital real estate based on the event format. If you're using lectures, brand the heck out of that thing. Sponsor, design the backgrounds, ensure that the sponsor is able to put their speakers on the talks, on the lectures that are being held. If your sponsor has content that could be used during the event, bring it in. Have them be a part of that. And then when it's a summit, have the sponsors come in with their boots, pull up with their boots, being able to talk and engage with the audience and experience. Same thing, brand placement, sending physical products in the mail, sending digital products that people could use in participating. And then we talked about investing those sponsored dollars to boost engagement. So investing it on, gamification and prizes and giveaways and things people could win and feel fun by winning. Then we talked about entertainment, right? Bringing in talent that could hype up your brand, just make people feel good. Networking, so creating opportunities for people to connect with each other, maybe throwing in a DJ somewhere there, or turning on like speed networking. You're going to be hopping from person to person every 10 minutes or so, just including that in there. And then food, right? Allowing for your participants to be able to get access to food. And there's a plethora of services that we've partnered with to make that happen. So I hope this selling sponsorships for online events has been very helpful and you were able to grab some tips. And I'm going to check if we have any questions before we close out this segment. If you're watching the replay, no problem at all. I'm still here. So message me, GSD with Georgie on all social media. If you head over to our website, gsdsolutionsinc.com, you could then ask some more questions. We can stay connected, as well as schedule a consultation with our team, right? Schedule a consultation with our team. We are here to help folks with their virtual event production, and we are experts at this. And then when I say we're experts, like I really mean it. And just a little bit, why work with us? We have a team of industry experts that have over 30 years combined experience in business development, technology, the event industry, or job. Literally every day what we're doing is looking for different digital engagement tools, how to amplify your virtual event. So again, the food, the gamification, the different stuff that's out there. And you could check out our series Events Reimagined, where we're able to, we've had conversations with various platforms that are out there for virtual events, different tools, softwares, and things to amplify these virtual events and just digital engagement overall. And I talk a little fast, but trust me, I promise you peace of mind, right? If there is nothing else that GSD can do, which we could do a lot, what we promise our clients is peace of mind. So when the event is on fire, which it will, we're going to put that fire out with our, that was totally corny. Do not judge me, guys. But we will put those fires out, right? We will make sure that you stay calm and you're able to engage with your attendees, your audience, your clients, and we focus on the technology. Literally, I was raised breaking and fixing technology. This is my forte, and my team has learned these skills and have come with skills of their own to do the same exact thing. We are fire people. We put out the fires for you so you can focus, as well as we have various certifications to just prove we really be doing what we say we're going to do. So, from Remo agency partners, we are Hopin certified. We're a Black and women owned business. Hey y'all, that's me. So we're very excited to bring this value to our clients, bring this value to folks that are out there. So we are here, we are ready. Take advantage of this opportunity that we've presented to you. And, if you want to scale your business with virtual events, if you want us to work directly with you to better sell these sponsorships for your audience, or take action on your sponsorships and embed that into your virtual event, head on over to gsdsolutionsinc.com and book a consultation with us. Let me get this banner scrolling. Yeah, so just get on over to our website, hit the Let's Chat button, schedule a consultation, and then we'll talk with you. And just as a boost, an additional benefit, we are having an actual networking event after this. So if you want to participate, we'll be on that platform for the next half an hour. So if you're catching the replay, it's a little too late, but don't worry, you can still schedule a consultation. But if you want to join the networking part of this, selling sponsorships for online events, and I'm going to give it time because I want y'all to make sure you're not watching the replay thinking it's live. This is happening from 12:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, February 26, 2022, in case we're watching this in the future. Hey, y'all, in the future, right? And if you are participating live, you can scan this QR code or go to this bit.ly link to join our networking segment, and we'll be there until about 20 after the hour, so 1:20 p.m. Eastern. Whatever your time zone is, please convert. I am so sorry. Time zones are very stressful, but an added benefit of virtual events is that it's accessible from everywhere. So that's cool. So head on over to gsdsolutionsinc.com, schedule a free 20-minute consultation with us to talk. And if you're participating live, I will catch you in the networking session. So I'm going to head over there now and I can answer your questions live. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in today's session. And I look forward to seeing you in the networking part of this segment. So I'm going to close y'all out with me. Bye, you guys. Thank you.
In the last 2 years, our world has changed more than ever before. And businesses have had to make very critical decisions in order to stay alive and thrive. And what we know to be true is that inclusive, innovative, and experience-driven businesses are the only ones that will continue to survive. Is your business ready to scale and continue to thrive using virtual events? I'm Georgie-Ann, the CEO and founder of GSP Solutions. At GSP Solutions, we focus on digital adoption, helping businesses just like yours thrive and survive in this new ecosystem. One of our specialty offerings is virtual event strategy and production. Every business will need a virtual event production strategy in order to be successful and thrive in the coming years. Get ahead of that curve, stay ahead of that curve, and talk to us today. We're here to make sure your virtual events are amazing. Thank you so much.